I'm holding my power at bay. If I should show it, you cower in place. You might not know it, the boss might have told it, but you didn't listen. I'm legendary. Wow, the star in the galaxy. Highest level you gotta be. Just to try and roll with me. The monsters I fight are elite. I'm bringing the pain for this status I have trained. And I'm looting this and taking that till nothing else remains. Let's go. The war's at war. Never slayed a dragon before, but I'll behead the beast and then increase my mana to again release the spells I got in my arsenal. And if I might be the darkest, coldest ice, I go to fight the troll, supreme leader of the MMO. And there's no stopping my game. I'm finding your fantasy, making that claim. The best, yeah, I gotta be PvP prodigy. Feel my psychology going insane. MMO RPG, the MMO show calling me. They're coming on, my character strong, so bet I'm gonna be listening. Go.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the MMO Show podcast. Really podcast talking about everything massively multiplayer. Tonight we've got some great things in store for you. We're going to be taking us on a tour of the Elder Scrolls Online, and I'm going to be teaching you about the magic of microvoxels and EverQuest Next Landmark. For those of you who don't know, my name is Endorn, and tonight I have with me my excellent co-hosts, Sarv and Lil. Say hello, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Okay, well, let's just jump right into it then. Lil, what have you been playing this week?
Elder Scrolls and WoW, and I've also been playing my DS a little bit, trying to beat the new Zelda game on hard mode.
There's a new Zelda game?
Yeah. Link Between Worlds. It came out a couple months ago, 4 months ago, but I beat it right away when I first got it, but I've been trying to beat it on hard mode now, which is actually pretty easy once you beat it the first time, but I do that when I'm not sitting at the computer, and I recommend it. It is one of the greatest games I've ever played.
I'll have to give that a shot.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So, we can officially say that you guys are in Elder Scrolls beta now, right? That's
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think we've been allowed to say that we're in beta. We're just not allowed to talk about beta, I think is what it was.
Actually, I have a developer friend that works at the studio. And I actually spoke with him yesterday and confirmed that we can stream anything we want. There is one thing that's coming out that I won't talk about that I actually have no idea what it's about. So it must be something they're still being hush-hush about, which seems kind of odd to me considering they're going to be releasing a month from now.
Yeah, almost exactly a month.
Yeah. So I don't know what it is, but it's not something we could talk about. But other than that, everything in the game currently, apparently even the higher level stuff, is available to talk about. Unfortunately, we don't have any high-end characters to show. I was trying to get a brand new Imperial character up to post level 10, but got sucked into other games. But yeah, so that's yes, we can talk about. We're in the beta, and specifically we're in the PTS beta, which is a special group that can play pretty much nonstop without any interruptions.
Which is bad because we haven't been, and we should have been, but we haven't been because wow.
Yeah. Now, see, that's actually really interesting that you mentioned. Hold on, man, mess this stuff up here. That you mentioned the fact that you can play as the Imperial race. I can't actually do that, so I only have the weekend beta. And I've had like the past 3 or 4 weekend betas, or whatever. And I see the option for the Imperial race is there, but it doesn't actually I can't pick it. So I don't actually know anything about the Imperial race yet. So I might have you stream some of that later if you can.
Yeah, I'm actually playing an Imperial right now. Cool. And the reason why we can play Imperials is because in the PTS we were given the ability to use to beta test the actual pre-order stuff.
That's
so cool. I have like the Imperial horse and the Imperial race, and we'll talk about what they look like, and I'll show it to you, and talk about the different mostly cosmetic perks they get, and we'll talk about their racial.
Awesome, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, well, let's just jumping into Sarv then. What have you been playing this week?
So there's a couple things I've been doing. First of all, if anyone's got a 3DS, the game Bravely Default is amazing, and I've been playing that a lot in my free time. So if anyone's hasn't on the fence about getting that, if you love JRPGs pick that up. I know it's not an MMO, but it's definitely something that sucked a lot of time out of me this week, and it's something I've been playing here and there, off and on. It's how I've been playing my 3DS, is whatever. That's what I've been doing. A lot of League of Legends, getting Malice to kind of carry me right now, get out of stupid bronze that I'm in right now. I played a little bit, not so much World of Warcraft this week. I think I'm going back to what I said I was going to do in the beginning, which was I'm going to play it casually. If I don't get my dailies done, I don't give a crap. If I don't do my dungeons, I don't give a crap. I think, AJ, you're in the same boat as me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that shit every day. Like, I have to. I'm trying to get all my shit. I'm trying to catch up for what I haven't played for the past 2 years.
Yeah. No, I haven't done a single daily since I started replaying Warcraft yet. Not one.
So yeah, that's what I've been mainly doing. I've been trying to log in here, but to be honest, with personal life, I've been pretty busy at this point in time during this week and next week. So whenever I'm around, Malice is around, and we usually play some League or something like that. Yeah. I've also played another game. It's not an MMO. It's called Banished. It's a game on Steam. It's incredible. I like it a lot. It's kind of like I don't know. It's a good game. If you're interested in city building and survival games, check out Banished on Steam. It's actually one of the #1 selling games right now. So I mean,
I'm a sucker for those kind of games.
Have you tried it?
I haven't played Banished yet. But
so yeah, the Banished game is like a city building where you build. You have a certain amount of guys. It kind of borrows a bit from Dwarf Fortress, which is great. The graphics are pretty good, and basically what a lot of people hit the problem with in the game is that building, you have to prioritize things and resources. There's winters. There's every season in the game. So like the first thing you want to do is make sure you have enough food for to survive the winter. Your actual guys get old and die.
Wow.
So they have to procreate and get new children. I think one of my games, I actually made a fairly cool-looking city, and no one was making any kids, and eventually I lost the game because the old people just died out. So you do build houses and all that stuff. It's very sandboxy. It's not like Dwarf Fortress where I can like customize the ground and dig into it and build a fortress out of it. It's not based off of that. But you'll play the game and like you'll feel like you played it for 30 minutes. You've been playing it all day. It's definitely a good game. So check that out. Non-MMO stuff. But MMO, the age of MMO is coming out soon with WildStar, Elder Scrolls, EverQuest. World of Warcraft's expansion later this year. So, yep.
Cool. Well, for me, I've been playing WoW. I've been trying to just get some PvP gear so I can kind of get a little bit raid worthy. I have to, but before anyone else brings this up, I'm just going to bring it up myself so that I can embarrass myself as little as possible. I was having a hard time with my DPS, and I couldn't figure out what my problem was because my gear was decent, but not, it wasn't anything great, but it was just stuff I had gone to the auction house, and I had just bought, 5,000 gold worth of just PvP gear. I just bought whatever I could once I hit 90 just so I could be at least sort of geared. And yeah, my DPS was just being crap, and I couldn't really figure out what was going on. And then after probably about 3 or 4 days, I realized I had accidentally bought a druid staff, like a feral staff, for my warlock.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So funny. We couldn't figure out why we're dude, it doesn't make any sense why your DPS is so bad.
I was spending hours looking at rotations on YouTube, and I was like, no, I am doing exactly that. Everything was going. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Well, DKs are one of the top DPS right now, so.
That was on my warlock that I was talking about.
You're a warlock?
Yeah,
okay, sorry.
I brought my warlock over. But speaking of, I actually finished my Green Fire quest last night, which, if anyone is watching and has a warlock and hasn't done the Green Fire quest, do it. That is one of the most fun fights I've ever done in World of Warcraft. The actual end boss fight took me about 4 hours of
It's like a solo raid, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a solo raid. You actually do Black Temple. You queue for a Black Temple scenario, and all the mobs in Black Temple are boosted up to level 90. And it's still scaled down so that you can solo it. But the very end boss, there were at least I think there's 4 different phases that it cycles through. There's a 7-minute enrage timer, which is really really tough. I'm in almost full I'm in full honor gear and like half conquest gear, and I just barely beat the rage timer after like 4 hours of attempts. But you got to do shit like enslave demons. You got to banish. You got to use your demonic gateway to move out of line of sight. You got to use your demonic circle. Um, it's crazy stuff.
Wow, so it's hardcore.
It is very hardcore. There's even one point where, because you have to enslave the demon. What happens is the end boss, he summons a pit lord. Like he has all this fell energy and he summons a pit lord and he sends it after you, and so you have to enslave it and send it back at him. Well, there's one part where he summons 3 fell hunters, and fell hunters have a devour magic ability which will remove that enslave from him. So in the midst of doing all these other mechanics, you got to watch, because when he summons the fell hunter, you actually have to use the move your pet thing, where it comes up with that little targeting circle, and you can pick where you want your pet to move to. You actually have to move your pet out of the raid area. So like, not only are you watching your mechanics, but you have to maintain your pet's location as well to make sure that he's far away from the fell hunters. Otherwise, they'll break the enslave, and then the pit lord will come and wipe you too. It's really good. If nothing else, just go on YouTube, and it's like a 7-minute fight. Just go on YouTube and watch it, because it's really, really fun.
Yeah, and the green fire is pretty dope. I've seen
man, yeah.
some mounts have that, because I think I saw like a paladin on a mount with green flaming hooves, but I'm assuming it was just the mount, not necessarily the paladin.
It was probably just the mount.
It was probably. It's from Karazhan. It's from the first fight in Karazhan. Remember, it's just a really.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's like a reskin.
I remember now. The horseman guy, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah. There you go.
That's what it is.
Okay, so enough about me and my green fire bragging. Let's jump into ESO. That's what everyone's here for. It's what I'm here for. I'm really excited to see this Imperial stuff. So if you're ready, Sarv, see what you got.
So yeah, I've been basically just running around this lower level area that I skipped, and I think I have a lot to discuss about the leveling and the immersion. And really, the kind of what I want to do is kind of relate a little bit with some Elder Scrolls, kind of the Elder Scrolls game standalone games. So I mean, this is obviously an MMO. It's got MMO elements to it. It's not like a multiplayer Skyrim, and it's more. Anyone expecting that is going to be extremely disappointed. I mean, obviously, they wanted to do a little more than make a multiplayer Skyrim. I personally think that they still should make like a multiplayer Elder Scrolls. Maybe the next one will have its perks in it to allow for maybe a co-op, another person to come in. But anyways, so I'm playing an Imperial, and I'm playing. There's only 4 classes right now in the game, and I think that's okay. The classes kind of have 3 subclasses in them. It's like sub-trees. So basically, I'm playing a Dragon Knight. And so there's a few other, and I'll log out and I'll show you the other ones. But in the class only really matters for the 3 different types of trees you go down. However, everybody can get skill up in the same weapons, armor, guild. So like if you join the Fighters Guild, you'll get another tree. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up. It may be a little delayed on the game here. And stop me, Indoor, if you got any questions you want me to cover. But
well, actually, while it's loading up, let's just talk real quick. And this is gonna be a can of worms, I know. But I thought it was interesting that you said that this isn't a multiplayer Skyrim. Maybe they should make a multiplayer Skyrim. How I feel like the more the industry moves, the smaller that gap becomes. So like, if you're playing a multiplayer game where there's a persistent world, how is that not an MMO unless that's limited? I mean, it just comes down to the number of players that can play at one time, then, right?
Yeah, I guess so, and I think that it won't be massively, but I think that the a multiplayer persistent game. So you have a save game. It's not like it's going to be up all the time. You and your buddy sit down and start playing the game, or hot seating, or something to that effect. People have done it before, so I can't imagine why they couldn't do it for Elder Scrolls. I think their excuse was that they just didn't have enough time, and or they this new technology in the sky and the recent Skyrim version of the game where they weren't able to do it. There was a mod. We don't talk about the mod, but there was a mod coming out that was going to make multiplayer happen. I do believe they got a cease and desist. I don't think they would want to compete with their own game with multiplayer, which is kind of scary thinking about it. So I'm playing an Imperial. So as you can see on the screen here, you got my class, and then you have underneath it the 3 different things you can pick from. Ardent Flame is what I've been putting more than anything into, and honestly, you'll notice that I only have 2 abilities here, and that there's locks. So basically, they're kind of like their own levels. So on the top, you'll see it says Ardent Flame 11, which is the level a skill level I'm at Ardent Flame. So the more I use abilities from this tree, the more I will unlock these. I'll be able to unlock these abilities with skill points, and the skill points come from leveling up and from sky shards. So I will be able to eventually come in here and buy more if I want. So interestingly enough, as you use these abilities up, this is where people might go, this is where the customization really is. As you level up abilities, I'm trying to let me see if I can find one. They may not show it. I want to kind of show one here. I know there's a. It's not showing it, but so when I would have a skill ability available to me, which I don't have one right now, a lot of these abilities, it'll let you know in the game. Basically, these abilities can go 2 different ways, or maybe even more than 2 different ways. So basically, as you use the ability, you max it out. Then you're able to actually morph the ability. So you'll be able to, like, let's say, make something have an additional effect on it. So you'll get the choice between 2 different effects. You don't have to put a skill point into that. It does actually take a skill point to do those sort of things. So the abilities are gonna be very open form and very customizable. Your character is very much like in Guild Wars 2, where you have a bar down here at the bottom, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and R. So R is an ultimate, very similar to League of Legends, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 can be anything you want. Now, you can only have those things on your bar, or that many abilities on your bar. So you can't walk around with everything. So you really got to think about what role you want to play and then build your bar out like that. Now, again, that's like Guild Wars 2, so not too special there, really. But I'll emphasize again that your actual abilities can be morphed and customized in a way where you can make your own, class. So that kind of comes back to where I'm saying that there may be only 4 classes to pick from, but really inside those classes there's 3 different trees of abilities unique to that class. Nobody else can have those, I don't think. There might be a way to do a quest to get more trees. So on the screen here you'll see class, weapon, armor, world, guild, racial, craft. So world is soul magic, and there might be some more stuff you get from world. Under guild, you'll come up on the stream in a second. You'll see I have Fighters Guild. I haven't even touched the Fighters Guild yet. There's an ultimate in the Fighters Guild tree. So like there's ultimates in different trees. Not all trees have ultimates in them. Something to keep note of. But yeah, so you have the ability to go in and get additional leveling trees for your character.
Now,
So,
is there a limit to how, like, if you spend enough time, is it sandboxy to the point where you can get all trees and all talents, or is there a limit?
so I do believe there's a limit. I think there's a limit because you only get skill points as you level up. There's a max level, which I believe is 50 or 60.
Okay.
And so that's it. So once you get done with that, now your sky shards will give you auxiliary skill points. So you will have the ability to, every 3 sky shards you get, you will get a skill point. The sky shards are hidden around the world in different areas, and you want to find them.
Basically, you're just forcing people to go out and actually adventure and look around.
Explore, and everything like that. So you can obviously see where they put their heart and soul into this game, which is they're trying to get that feel of Elder Scrolls. However, they can't make you a god, right? Because that's what happens in Elder Scroll games. You literally just become unstoppable force.
Dovahkiin!
Yep.
Yeah. So you're gonna be a figure in the world. You're gonna be a hero, but you're gonna be suited for your task at hand. So let's talk about the racial real quick. I want to point out the Imperial racial skills. I don't know how many people have seen these yet. They'll come up on the stream in a second, but there's basically passive abilities. Racials are passives usually. I think they're all passives, to be honest with you. So the first thing that the Imperials get is increased experience gain with one-handed shields, or basically sword and board by 15%. This is pretty huge. This actually means you might want to walk around and use primarily this sword and board kind of like I am, except it means one-handed. So it doesn't have to be a sword. It could be a dagger or something to that effect. So that's right off the bat. You get that. That's cool, right? I noticed that too. When I'm fighting, my sword and board was leveling up quick, real fast. And I do have a Nord Dragon Knight, so I've done some sword and board stuff with. The second one is you can level this up 3 times. So this is increase maximum health by 4%, and I'm assuming that goes up so much percent at a time. I can't actually see what the next upgrade is going to give me. So automatically, you're kind of getting the idea that these guys are meant to be tanks at endgame, right, or somewhere along the line. Mm-hmm. Next thing is going to be increased max stamina, which is going to give you more health, right? Or I'm sorry, more ability pool to do abilities with. And that's actually pretty huge in this game. Like, your stamina is a real important pool. So you have stamina, you got health, and you got magicka. So stamina is used when you're doing like non-magical attacks. So a lot of my attacks are non-magical, so my stamina drains really fast. Now, while I've been leveling, I have been doing a 2-to-1, so 2 health, 1 stamina, but I don't know how that's going to work out for me in the long run. I do have a tough time actually soloing a lot of stuff right now with this guy. That's why I'm kind of over here in his lower level areas trying to complete these quests so that I can get a little bit more buffer. But anyways, so that can be leveled 3 times as well. So stamina increase, health increase, right? So that's what we got so far. And finally, the last one is called Red Diamond. Melee attacks have a 10% chance to restore 7 health. So that's great. Another tanking kind of meta, right? Because when even in World of Warcraft, we like to see that, if you have something that can give you health back as a tank, that's great. So those are pretty powerful racials. I don't know.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most MMOs have gone to the racials are just not much. Now, I'm not an endgame, so I'm gonna hold my judgment on that. But to me, those racials seem pretty powerful and kind of put you towards where you want to go. If you want, for example, I like Imperials. I'll probably play one. But the thing is that, and as I haven't mentioned, I did pre-order the Imperial Edition. So I might play Imperial, but man, I really want to play a Khajiit Dragon Knight. I don't know why. Just the idea of this lion, burly lion dude in full plate, sword and board going in there. That just seems really cool to me. But obviously, the Khajiit are kind of meant for other things. They're more meant for the lizard race is meant for that, but they're more melee oriented, and I think the Khajiit are more like thiefy, kind of like maybe dual wielding daggers, something to that effect. But also, I guess agile is where I'm getting at. I guess
Actually, I was starting to think of the other racial bonuses that I know of to see if anything would really compare, and the Khajiit get a bonus to their stealth radius, which I actually thought that was a little bit overpowered too.
Yeah. So I mean, the classes all get very Holy Trinity kind of pushing you towards those. I kind of wish that they may have given them maybe one racial per kind of area. Mm-hmm. Fine. Give these Imperials the health boost. And then maybe give them something for magicka, and then maybe give them something for so that it's all kind of like a rock paper scissors, but it's you know what I mean. I'm sure they're going with this because these guys are from these areas, and this is what they're bred on.
See, I'm back and forth on this because I really like the concept that your race matters. Like I don't like that race, and I mean, like back in EverQuest, race absolutely mattered. And I loved that, and it was a meaningful choice. And you could choose to play, like a troll necromancer if you wanted to, or a gnome shadow knight if you wanted to, but it was going to be detrimental to the point where it was a challenge. And as long as you were informed ahead of time, you knew that it was going to be a challenge. That was up to you to decide whether or not that was going to be worth it. So I like that aspect, but at the same time, I haven't seen an MMO try to do that in a very long time, and I feel like that's exactly what this is doing. Like, if it was something like, let's say, a health bonus, like you were talking about earlier. Okay, well, a lot of classes can use health. Everybody can use health to not die so quickly. That's fine. That's whatever. That's fine. But when you get so specific as to say you have a bonus to shields, or you have a shield affinity, or your shield skill levels up faster if you play this race, that is definitely reverting back to the old school. Race is a serious choice that matters, and I like it. I just don't know how that's gonna fly with the general MMO community.
Yeah, so I mean the leveling up thing is a bad example because I mean it's just a leveling up. It will get there faster, but everyone will catch up, right? But the other ones, those put an edge on these guys, and that's fine, I guess. Let me put it this way: the Imperial race is really visually nothing special. They look kind of like I can go back and actually go in the character select and create a character and show you guys, but yeah, but I just want to really quick show the map. So to show you how big the world is, so I'm kind of like it's going to take a while to get there, but I'm kind of highlighting all the different regions you can go to. So while the whole map is there, you can't go everywhere. At least not right now, right? There's Cyrodiil in the middle. There's going to be the Nord area, and then so it's not fully open, which means that there's a lot more area to add to the game over the long run.
Yeah.
And this map is actually pretty cool. You can click on a region, and then in the region we'll have miniature maps around different areas. So this is the region of Volkhel Guard, which is kind of where I'm at right now, and I'll be coming up here shortly. And then I will click on a city. I'm about to do it right now on the stream. There we go. So now you'll see the. Actually, I forgot yours is delayed even further. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, I'm way behind on yours. Anyways, so you'll get there, you'll see it in the screen, but basically there is layers to this map, which is pretty cool. You teleport anywhere by just clicking on the map and going and clicking on a way shrine. It costs gold. I find gold to be really hard to come by in this game, and the teleportation's pretty expensive. I mean, it's like I don't know. I'm only level 8 or 7, but the point is that I don't know how gold accumulates further in the game in the long run.
I'm going to assume it's going to become completely mediocre at some point, and you're not going to care. But at the beginning, it's like when other games that have that kind of stuff too, where you're like, oh, I have to run everywhere because I can't afford to tell.
Yeah.
So one of the things about the Imperial, before I log off and get to the character select, is they do have the ability to. They have a white horse, by the way. It's an Imperial horse. You walk up to a apparently I found this out late, but you walk up to a stable person and you look at the horses for sale, and their horses are expensive, but there will be one called an Imperial horse, and it'll literally cost you 1 septum. So you can just buy the horse, and then you summon the horse with you whistle it, but it does appear out of thin air. It's not like Skyrim where it'll call it and it'll just come walking from a random direction. So don't get too excited about having your horses come up here. So right now I'm going to be running up to a light, a torch here, because I want to show a little bit of the armor that I'm wearing. So this armor, nice. the other this is low level armor, right? But the level 7 armor. So, but this actual armor outside of my leggings, you'll notice my leggings look a little different. But most armor you can convert to an Imperial style. So you have to be an Imperial to do this. It's a right-click operation. It'll turn the armor into look like Imperial armor. So like my helmet is like a medium armor helmet, and everything else is plate armor, and so that's another Imperial race. Now you can, I think, craft all this with the Imperial look. I'm not sure if all races can do this. When you do go, originally I beta tested some of the crafting, which was really cool, by the way. I should add the crafting is not like a mini game or like innovative, but it's pretty cool how you just get right into it. Like you just start hammering away, make yourself a helmet, make yourself an armor, and you decide how powerful it is. So you decide by adding more materials into it.
Oh, that's cool.
There are different metals that you buy from a vendor that allow you to make armor of different races. So, for example, you could be you know, a Khajiit, I guess, and craft yourself some Nord armor. Put it on. So that's pretty cool, and that it goes all the way from armor to weapons. So the shield that I have on, for example, is considered an Imperial shield. This dagger that I have, actually, I got out of a little dungeon, and I don't think that I'll be able to convert it. So no. So I don't think you're able to convert like green items, or not all green items, but you know, if it's a special named item, you're probably not going to be able to convert it, and the conversion is permanent. So I thought I'd throw that out there. So yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. I mean, I was able to make myself look like an Imperial guy.
So when you right click and convert to Imperial, does that scale with your level? So if you're level 50, is it going to turn into the same style of look that you are now, or does it change into cooler looking stuff?
That's a really good question, and I do think it's the what you want to hear, which is I got kicked out of the game. Nice. So you do convert it, and I think it is based off the level of the item. So if it's a higher level item, then it's going to look like a higher level item. Okay. So yeah, I think they just basically put in all this Imperial armor set stuff and just like they did with the Nord and all the other good stuff.
That's pretty cool.
So I guess it's good timing since it kicked me out. I'm really interested in that voxel stuff you're gonna go over.
Yeah, let's switch over to my voxel stuff while you're getting that reset up. Just do a little EverQuest break here real quick. Game capture. I don't know why it's not showing up. Let's see.
Looks like unless we got banned or something, Elder Scrolls was down.
Oh really?
So login servers are down. Yeah. I'm gonna try to log into the regular beta to see if I can get that up. But in the meantime,
they probably took all this. They were like, "Oh my God, someone's streaming it. We gotta turn it on."
So
I saw people streaming all day today on Twitch.
Yeah, I think I'm just joking. But I did confirm my friend that the PTS can be streamed.
Bear with me here for 1 second, guys.
I'm going to talk about some of the areas then. I like the look. The game, I don't care what anyone says. The game looks fantastic to me. It really looks great. The character models
I disagree.
I could let you know.
The graphics are dated, and I'm not. Let's be realistic here. These graphics are dated. They aren't even at the level of Skyrim. So don't expect to be going into the next gen Elder Scrolls here.
I never expected that to begin with, so that's why. But people act like they're worse than WoW's graphics, you know? And
oh no, they're not worse than WoW's graphics.
That's the way people act though, and it's like, no, the game looks pretty good, but it's weird though because we started playing Aldemary Dominion and I don't like the quests at all. Like I don't like them at all. I like the Nord area the best, the snow area, and everybody else hates it, but I love it. I don't know why. The quests are not very linear, but I feel like I'm running around the Aldemary Dominion area and I have no idea where to go, what to do. Like I'm completely lost.
So I don't know if this is feedback given to them from beta testers, but I will say there is a bit of a dazed and confused effect inside Elder Scrolls where you don't really know what direction to go. And I think this is going to be really tough for some people that have played MMOs and even played like the Elder Scroll games. Elder Scroll games, you get totally immersed. You're like, I'm in this world. Well, you just do what you want to do, and there's a natural, like, organic flow to the game in which you can do whatever the hell you want to do and go any direction you want to go. And an MMO, we're so used to direction with the quest-based MMO that we kind of look for those linear paths, and I think it's hard to grasp because you'll get into Elder Scrolls, and what's going to end up happening is you're gonna pop upon an area heading towards a quest, and you're just going to have all these other quests around you that are available to pick up.
Yep.
So imagine you're playing World of Warcraft with no real hubs, and the hubs are like kind of the people are just scattered all over the place. So, and there's no like on the map question mark. So you literally, if you don't walk near to them, you'll never know there's a quest there. But
Yeah.
some
I like
quests
that. That gives it the sandboxy feel.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it hurts it because, like I said, in the Aldemir Dominion area, I have no idea what's going on. Like, I'm completely lost. I know that there's an overall story arc that you're supposed to be following, but it's completely lost to me. I'm like, I just don't even care now.
Okay, well, I think I'm all set up here. You guys see my stream all right?
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna just clean up my plot here a little bit.
So before we get into your thing, tell us about the newest updates. If there's anything interesting to mention about EverQuest.
Well, interesting, yes. I don't know if I'd call it a good thing or not. As far as the game goes, it's mainly just been getting more fluid, more smoother, polishing, that kind of stuff. They've added some more materials. They've added some more like mining picks, that kind of stuff. But they haven't really done anything major as far as mechanics-wise goes. And I don't think they should. I think as for alpha, I think they should focus on polishing bugs and making the UI more usable and that kind of stuff. There is an update to the smoothing tool that is coming out this week, which makes me really, really happy.
Is that from your feedback or?
No, that's everyone's feedback. Pretty much everyone had been saying the same things that I had been saying. And if you look at my stream right now, you can see like how there's these little edges right here. Essentially, what they said was the tool right now is working like a melting tool, which is like exactly what I said. The new tool that's coming out next week, they said it's going to work like a sanding tool. It's going to be.
That's exactly what they needed too.
Yeah, and I agree with that. So it's really good. Like the developer feedback, all that stuff has been one-on-one. Like they said when the game first launched that we were going to be part of the dev team, us alpha players, and they really, really made us feel like that. So, but yeah, so that's really the only thing new. The thing that's interesting is they've released their business model. Because as you know, EverQuest is gonna be free to play, and this is the moment that I've been dreading forever. But apparently, their business model, they're gonna buy and sell props. Obviously, we all knew that props are items in the game, like these like table thing right here, and this my vault, which is essentially a bank. Those are props. These little torch here is props. So they're gonna sell these props things. So you can buy like stained glass windows and all that kind of crap. And everyone knew that was coming. That wasn't a big deal. The thing that's interesting and that I want to talk about real quick, you can buy resources. So
with real life money?
With real life money. With station cash. So for those of you who haven't played the game, when Sarv and I were working on our top end pick, like the highest pick that was in the game at that point, it required like a crap ton. I think it was like Sapphire and Rubicite. Is that what the last one was? I don't remember. Anyways, it required a whole bunch of rare minerals that took me probably like 3 to 4 hours of farming. Just nothing but farming for like 3 to 4 hours just to get the materials for it. And again, we're not privy to like end game of this, so that's probably not the best in the game. That's just the best that's in alpha right now. And so the thought that someone could just go and buy those resources with like $15 and then just go walk around with the highest quality pickaxe in the game, that kind of really bothers me. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it's stupid. I really do, and I'm hoping nobody actually buys anything for this. No one spends any real money on that. I mean, I have a bunch of station cash, but I ain't gonna use that on that. That's for damn sure.
Right.
I ain't gonna use that.
I ain't gonna use that. No sirree.
I really, really, really have a problem when people can use real, because I know that there's people out there who have money to burn and they don't fucking care, and I don't. You know. I equate everything to diapers. You know, they're $20 to buy this. Like that's diapers. That's diapers for 2 weeks for my household. Sorry, like I that irritates me when people can get a leg up over me because they can spend money. That does piss me off.
Yeah.
When you're already paying a subscription, if it's free to play, I get it. It happens, whatever. But it's gonna be free to play, so I guess it has to slide. I mean, they gotta make revenue somehow, and
Yeah, this is where free to play gets real dirty, and
Yep.
and this game in particular is gonna get dirtier, just because it's kind of not like an MMO. I mean, like for me, I turn everything into a competition. So for me, I'm looking at it as a standpoint of, well, the progression that's in the game is your pickaxe. So right here's my large indigo pick. That's the best pickaxe in the game. So I have progressed through the levels of pickaxes to reach the elder game of pickaxes, which is my indigo pickaxe, and I have earned that, and that is how I win. Um, but to people who aren't like that, to people who are Minecraft players, which this game obviously is going to appeal to a lot of Minecraft players, there's no progression like that. There's no competition like that. And so I've read the arguments on the forum, both for my side and against my side, and those people that don't feel that sense of competition are like, okay, so they're going to win by paying money. What are they going to win? The ability to build buildings faster?
I guess.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a point. I mean, it goes against everything that I'm programmed to think. But it's a point that I can't really argue with, honestly. I mean, there really is no progression in Landmark, so to speak. I hope that it doesn't set that same precedent for EverQuest Next, though.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope.
Go ahead and switch back to my stream real quick. Someone wanted to see the Imperial Horse, and so I want to show that real quick.
Sure. Sarv stream. There you go. Ooh, that's a nice horse. Now, do you get that at level 1?
I think so, yeah. I think you can get it at level 1.
It's pretty cool.
I can't really... It's hard for me my push-to-talk key for the stream is actually crouch in this game, so it's a really slow mount. I mean, this is not like great game-breaking, but it's a little faster than running. You can't fight on it, and there's no first person. I mean, really?
Oh, really?
I mean, really? There's no first person on the horse? What is going wrong? I don't understand. Like, why they put first person in the combat? They better put first person in on the horse.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. That's just like, come on now.
When I logged in with a new character for beta this weekend, first person mode was the default. Like I was in first person mode when I made a new character. So why the crap?
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, definitely. I noticed that. It's so I build disappointed with the first person. Let me kind of talk a reason why. So the first person mode is kind of the same pixels as third person. So you actually get really close to your hands and you can tell how gritty they look, because they haven't really put any high def, like that close high def skinning on the hand. So I actually went back to the character select screen so you can see my guy in a better light, since it was unfortunately dark in the game. So that'll come up in this stream here in a second. And so I want to quickly show what the race kind of matches the most to. So everyone by now should have gotten into beta in this game. This game is very available for beta testing. I mean,
at least the weekend betas, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people giving away keys for the weekend stuff, and I think the weekend beta and the PTS have the same stuff in it right now. I think they're for the longest time they have not been equal, but they are now. So I'm just going to show the real quick, and then you can go back to your explanation. So I'm going to actually setting up this up right now. No gear. All right, so I'm watching the stream. When it comes up, I'll kind of go through it. But basically, I'm going to show a Breton and then an Imperial, and I'm going to kind of go back and forth with them, and you'll be able to tell that very slightly, a Breton, it looks almost exactly like an Imperial.
Very slightly, exactly.
Yeah, very slightly, exactly. So they almost look exactly alike, basically. and they don't have much difference to them. And I mean, I'm even having the same like baldness with the same kind of handlebar mustache right now, and I'm kind of cycling back and forth. But yeah, so those who don't get the Imperial race, don't worry. There's no special
Oh wow, that
skin.
is almost exactly.
Yeah, so there's a slight difference in the jaw.
Hmm.
But yeah, so don't fret if you don't have the Imperial race. It's it's really not that big of a deal. The perks, and I'm really kind of odded out by the lack of like junk on these guys, man. There's like it's like basically female like genitalia down there. I don't know what's up with that. What if I want to run around and just? I guess we're so used to our schlong showing games like Rust. The big one of the biggest complaints about this game, to be completely honest, is there's no ass. Like it, even on the guys, there's just no fucking ass, and then the girls don't have asses either. So I don't
Is that,
know.
is that
Girls
your,
won't
your
have
top
boobs
concern?
there.
Yeah, I want to see some ass. I mean, they just have a kind of like a flat ass. I don't know. To me, the females are not very attractive either. Like they're, the breasts are not there, I guess, and maybe it's just the focus in which they're going. They're not trying to appease eye candy or whatever in terms of thing, but I know there's some people out there that are going to be like that. I mean, I'm a fan of just really really beautiful character models, and
Hmm.
I feel like they. I feel like they're so. Let me say one more thing about this, and then we could talk more about it in future MMO shows
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure because PTS isn't going down.
Literally, no, that character has a mom ass. Like, there's nothing there. It's like that flat mom ass, like in mom jeans. It's awful.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. Like,
So
ugh.
so I haven't got a chance to get into it. I'm hoping by next time we will be able to. But the PvP in this game has been heralded so far. Huge open world map, so big that when you go and you fight and you die, like the attrition effect actually occurs in like a real war. You cannot make it back in time to immediately fill your spot. So over time, an army will fall to nothing, and then
That's cool.
they'll basically have to, you know, come back one at a time, which is not an ideal situation. So they'll probably group. There's also three factions involved, right? So that there'll be times where you'll be fighting another faction, they're fighting you, and oh look, the third faction just slips in behind and steals the keep or something to that effect.
Yeah, I remember that. That was some awesome shit in Dark Age Camelot.
So yeah, the same guys did that are making this, so you can see where this is going. Walls are destructible, gates are destructible, catapults, you name it. Different strategies where the defender, like in a real world scenario, won't run out to attack their enemy. They'll have them attack the walls while they defend from the walls and take out who they can. And then as soon as the walls break down, the attackers are going to have to come in. They're going to be tunneled. They just implemented. This has been the big concern. They just implemented where you can't walk through other players.
Oh, there's collision now?
Oh,
Yes, so you cannot walk through other players. So
I'm
NPCs
used
and
to that from
nice.
Terra, so that's awesome.
so so you'll be able to make human walls and other effects occur in the thing. So I'm super excited for the PvP, guys. If you are on the edge for playing this game, I would say give it a shot for the PvP. Get in beta, work your way up to I think post level 10. Get into the PvP, try it out. I heard it sucks if you don't have a horse, but whatever. I mean, it sounds and looks really cool. There's a lot of people streaming it. If you want to check it out too on Twitch. Like I said, I hope to be able to try it out myself. It just looks like the best part of the game. And to be quite honest, if that's what the game boils down to, I wouldn't say it's a complete failure.
Not at
Um,
all. Not at all.
but we'll there's. I hope that I've given enough to where I've shown tonight where I can say I've been turned around a little bit on this game. I obviously dropped the 70 something bucks to get the Imperial Edition for both me and my wife. I do plan to play the game. It may not be. It'll be kind of like World of Warcraft, where I'll play it casually. I may join a guild. I don't know. But the thing is that I will definitely be giving the game a try out. There's a lot of different things in here. I'm kind of curious how the meta is going to work with people making their their builds and everything. And finally, one thing I will mention that some people don't know. So when you pre-order the game, you'll automatically get the choice to pick a race and any faction. So if you want to be a Nord in the Aldemiri faction, you can be. That's only for pre-order. Imperials can start on any faction as well. And just because you picked a faction doesn't mean you got a PvP in that faction.
Oh,
Your
really?
That's huge.
guild will dictate what. So when you create a guild, you actually pick a faction to join.
So so if you're a guild, if you're like a pre-launch guild right now, you don't have to pick a faction. You can make a guild from all the other factions, but then you have to pick a faction to support in PvP.
That's correct. So, for example,
That's
if
perfect.
you
That's a
didn't
game changer. I don't
if you
think people
didn't,
realize that.
I believe this is how it works. I don't have a guild to really test it right now, but I think that it is where, like, let's say you did not pre-order the game, you are a Khajiit, and whatever, and I'm a Nord, which I don't think they're on the same one. But anyways, let's say they weren't. Then we would be able to join the same guild. And that guild would represent a faction, and then when we do things out in the PvP area, we'll be together. However, in leveling and questing, we will not be able to be together.
Right.
So that's the turn off on picking different races across factions. So, and also yes, and out in the PvP realm or area, Cyrodiil, your guild will be able to take over points and objectives on the map, and it'll fly your banner. So
That's awesome.
guilds will be able to take over, and then of course, I think it's the top person becomes the emperor.
That's really cool.
So yeah. So the PvP is obviously Dark Ages Camelot guys have done a superb job and making something really fun and so large that it's, like I said, that attrition effect occurs. There's some great videos out there, guys. Check it out. And I hope to actually get there myself by next weekend.
That'd be great if we could stream some PvP stuff next weekend. That'd be really cool. Okay, well, let's. We've got like 5 minutes left here. Let's switch back over to the microvoxels. I know you said you were looking forward to those.
Yeah, that's right. So are they in yet, or are they going to be bringing them in?
Well, here's the deal. Microvoxels are not a thing. They're not a they're not like an update. It's not like the developers said, "Hey, we're gonna make microvoxels." Microvoxels is a technique that is a creative use of game mechanics in Landmark. So I'm gonna show you how to do them here. They're really finicky again because they're not intentional. It's sort of a bug, but Dave Georgeson himself has been raving about how much he loves doing this. So essentially, here, let me start from back from the beginning. Essentially, what you want to do is you want to take a selection tool and you want to keep it as small of a block as possible, and then you're going to want to raise it up into the air so that it's not touching anything. I don't know how delayed my stream is for you guys, but hopefully you can keep up. So once it's in the air, you're going to take your add tool, and then you're just going to add a block of any material, whatever material you want to build out of. So you can see here I've got one block floating in the air. It's not touching anything, and it's one voxel big. So now then I take my smooth tool, and I use the scroll wheel to bump the smooth tool up one size so that I have just a big block of smoothing all completely around this one voxel here. And then as I smooth it down, since it's only one voxel, it is literally going to stay a square, but it's going to keep shrinking down and down and down, and you can literally shrink it down until it's the size of a pixel. Like, I don't know, again, I don't know how delayed it is, but if you can see that on my screen right now, it's right in front of my mouse cursor, and it is really, really tiny. And I've taken this all the way down to the point where you can't even see the voxel anymore. But I'm going to hit Control-Z a few times, get it back up a little bit bigger.
Wow, people are going to be able to do so much shit with that.
Yeah. Now, it is quirky, and it has a lot of downsides, but let me show you what to do next. So once you've got it, just your little tiny block floating there, you take it, and you use the selection tool, and you select it, and then you copy it. And once you have it in your copied, then you can paste a new one down. Now, this is where things get really weird. When you go to paste it, I'm gonna paste one up against this wall here. That might be a little bit easier. You see how you can see there's sort of that little green thing? That's because the voxels are kind of positioned weird. That's the actual movement part of it. So I'm just gonna move it around and hopefully, yeah, there we go. So you gotta kind of play with the movement stuff so you can get it to a place where you can work with it. Like I said, this thing's really quirky right now, but there. Something about here, maybe? That's way off. Yeah, this takes practice, and I'm not doing a very good job at it.
Why would anybody want to do this? Just out of curiosity.
Well, let me see if I can get to a point where I can actually connect it. Yeah, see, here you go. So these two have connected now. You see them there? So now you can make an actual line out of these things.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about? Let me...
They're not exactly aligned, but you can probably use the line tool between them. Is that what you're getting at?
Well, you can. Yeah, you absolutely can use the line tool. But they're essentially, if you get it right, and boy, this is really being a bitch for me today. I wish there was a reset button on these stupid location tools. Maybe I'll suggest that. So Control V. There we go. Okay, there we go. This is gonna work better. And then bring you forward. There we go. So here in a couple seconds, when it pops up on the stream, you'll see me now that I've got the angle thing all fixed out, right? So I can actually build things like railings and small straight lines. Pop up this up here like that. Didn't actually connect.
Okay. I see. Okay. So you think you could make like intricate designs with it or something like that?
Intricate designs, intricate walkways, window sills. I've seen people do a lot of cool shit with windows with this. It's like I said, it's a pain in the ass. But the stuff that if you're patient with it and you're willing to put the time in it, I've seen some really cool things. Like here we go. There, I connected that edge there. So, I mean, those are microvoxels. I played around with this for about an hour before I was able to actually even do it, just because I was really trying to figure out, like I said, they're quirky as all hell, because they're not really in the game at the moment. But after I played around with them for those couple hours, I was like, wow, this is really neat. And then I was like, well, I don't really know what I want to do with these. So I'm kind of in the same boat as you. But for small things like handrails on stairs or porch rails or windows or anywhere where you think that the default voxel size, and let me pop up default voxel size here real quick, just so that you can really get a good comparison, because they are quite a bit smaller. Let's see, just right there. Yeah, so there by comparison, you can see over here this is technically the smallest you should be allowed to build. Over here to my left, using microvoxels, you can get this all the way down. I mean, as small as you want to make it, as long as you're willing to put the effort into it. Make sense?
Yep, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I posted a thing asking them to just allow us to shrink our voxels down to this size in the first place. But I don't know if they're going to go for that or not. That would be an incredible
CPU intensive.
Yeah, it'd be an exponential bump. Because even though these microvoxels are smaller, it's really just an illusion. Because if you put your selection tool over, you can see even though it's whatever calculations they're using that connects things, like how the line tool you can connect voxel to voxel. That's sort of the same technology that's causing this effect of the voxels being connected, even though they're smaller. But in reality, they're still just tiny voxels. So you couldn't, for example, if you see the size of my my full-size voxel tower here, you couldn't put two microvoxel towers in the same space as where this one tower is. Essentially, the only thing that you could do is put one microvoxel tower in the regular tower space, and it would just be in the center of where a full voxel should be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. So when you stand on it, can you like does it stand like on the actual material or do you stand above it? Or do you float?
That's a good question. I'm pretty sure you stand on it. Um, let's take a look. Yeah, yep, you stand on it. That's part of that. Like I said, that's part of that whole technology where it's. I mean, that's the voxel technology. You know, it smooths out the between two different voxels and creates a solid plane. So that stuff's pretty good. Um, but again, and here's the other downside too: is this whole thing relies on the melting properties of the smoothing tool, and that's going to change this week. So I don't really know if microvoxels are even going to be in the game anymore after this
Yeah,
week.
yeah,
So we'll see. Like I said, George is or Dave Georgeson's all about them. He's been building like crazy. He's been posting pictures on Twitter about the stuff that he's been building with them. And they've essentially been, like I said, just where you wanted to have like a small slit in a wall or like a grate, things
yeah,
like that.
yeah. Like a gray. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, things like that. So it's been pretty cool. But yep. So I think we're gonna wrap it up after that. This has been a technically challenging episode, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys have any last words or last thoughts?
No, just if anybody has any ideas or anything they want to see on the show, let us know. Reach out to Indoor in here, and we are playing around with the idea of having some special episodes where we'll be playing a co-op game together, such as Talisman or even Hearthstone, even though it's not more than 2 players.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. So if anyone has any ideas on that, like seeing like that, let us know.
Cool. Okay. Lily, you got anything to say?
Words.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for watching. Check us again next week, 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some Elder Scrolls PvP action, and maybe we'll be able to sneak in a special episode sometime during the week, or like Thursday, we can play Talisman. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.